Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse. Today, Monday, July 7th, 2025. Now, for those who've been following the U.S. versus Sean Combs trial, it ended, as we all know, last Wednesday with 2 guilty and 3 not guilty verdicts. Bail was denied, and there's a hearing tomorrow, Tuesday, on expedited sentencing. I'm assuming that his lawyers will be asking for time served whenever that does happen. And we'll just have to see. There's also the question of relevant conduct, which is the things not convicted of but presented at trial. Now, speaking of that, if not, the sentencing will be October 3rd. But it could get moved up. I think it probably will be moved up. That's basically the judge said, I'm not going to let you out on bail, but I will speed up your sentencing if you want, if the probation department can produce a pretrial services report in time, which they probably can. It's a high-profile defendant. Now, speaking of relevant conduct, one of the escorts mentioned at the trial is Clayton Howard. He was mentioned repeatedly. You can look over Inner City Press's threads or the 8 books that we put out, booklets, during the trial, one for each week, and you'll find Dave, as he was referred to many times. Well, Dave has filed a lawsuit that's quite contrary to how he was described. Now we understand why he wasn't one of the escorts tried. Who knows? There's many civil lawsuits out there. We're following them, and we'll see. We'll present them. People will have their different views of what's up with them. But there's that one is in California, but it's in federal courts. We can cover it pretty easily. Speaking of which, we just covered a Massachusetts district court beginning of a trial in which 3 universities, or an association of professors from 3, with the examples being from Harvard, Rutgers, and NYU, have sued the policy under which Mahmoud Khalil, Yosan Chung, and others were ordered deported. They have not been deported, but they've been ordered deported. So it's a trial about a policy, but as the DOJ lawyer just raised in opening statements, there may not be standing for the universities to raise that, and each of the 5 example individuals regarding whom discovery has been taken each have their own case going elsewhere. So Judge Young seems to be he's an 84-year-old judge appointed by Reagan. He said some good things about the First Amendment, but he also expressed an awareness that there may be a lack of standing here. It's a 2-week trial. It would be a little strange to have a standing finding at the end of the 2 weeks rather than before it, but we're on it. So we live tweeted that. You can find the open arguments. What else do we have? Now, here there are trials all over, and I'm very open to suggestions from people, but there was going to be a trial about Russian sanctions, violating it for a guy called Kostin. This trial has been canceled. Deferred prosecution agreement. We were the first to report it, and you can check it out. A couple of crypto trials are coming up. Samourai Wallet, that's Rodriguez, and Roman Storm, and Tornado Cash. These are trials that are coming up. But we're covering many things here, including the United Nations, regarding which we wrote a scoop this very morning about UNISFA, which is their mission in Abyei, which is a portion of Sudan, next to South Sudan, where the UN has wasted public money and is now wasting even more of it. You can find it. We've asked the spokespeople for answers. They won't answer. They've thrown us out of the UN physically, and they won't answer written questions, even as we exclusively expose their waste of taxpayer money and Antonio Guterres' total moral bankruptcy. Sorry to say it, but there was talk of the First Amendment at that case in Boston, but the UN, they say they're exempt from the First Amendment. But we'll see. We've applied to re-enter, and we won't rest. To be continued. It's a little hot out here. Inner City Press.